tvmarketinggd@gmail.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Scene 2, take 1, and action.
Situationship, no relationship.
I am Mass. I am Mass. The movie. Netflix banned. On Saturday, July 8th, the epic movie saga will continue. Gates open 10 p.m. Showtime midnight. National Stadium. But it's more Mass. I Am Mass 2023. The movie. Netflix banned.
A natural disaster can change your life in minutes. Preparation is the best protection for your family and business. Prepare now. Create a disaster plan and make sure everyone knows what to do. Store water, non-perishable food, and medication. Remember basic emergency supplies such as batteries and flashlights. Trim overhanging trees. If trees near power lines are unsafe to trim, call Grenlec at 237 for assistance or advice. Install surge protectors to safeguard your electrical devices against outages and intermittent surges. Make sure your generator has an isolation switch. It will prevent power from feeding to our lines and electrocuting others. For more information, visit grenlec.com.
Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
Grenlec Community Partnership Initiative.
We applied to Grenlec for the construction of a new library at Dover Government School. We've given them a library space that is comfortable, that is homey, that has customized furniture, outfitted for a child who really wants to enjoy reading. I want to thank the Grenada Electricity Services. We could not have done it without you, and we look forward to continued partnership into the future.
Grenlec, energizing our community.
The owner of Mindy is seeking the support in finding her. Mindy has a pink collar and was last seen in Bayview Drive for Judy. She is microchipped and has a green tattoo from spading under her tummy. A reward is being offered for anyone who has information on Mindy's whereabouts. You can contact 406-6525 or 538-4085.
Hello and welcome to the MTV Evening News for Tuesday, the 27th of June. The news headlines, they're coming to you in association with Courts Grenada Limited.
When a loved one passes on, we all need the comfort, support, and guidance of a trusted friend. You can rely on LaCour Brothers Funeral Home. We provide a personalized professional service that exceeds all expectations. Our dedicated staff responds to your every need with the greatest detail, ensuring affordability with a variety of options. Our upgraded state-of-the-art facilities, spacious air-conditioned chapel with live internet streaming, a modern, environmentally safe crematorium, the only of its kind on island, private viewing spaces, large on-site repast center, a modern transportation fleet. Join our burial society today and make personalized arrangements for that final moment. As you prepare to enter your loved one into eternal rest, visit or call LaCour Brothers Funeral Home and select a package that brings added comfort to the entire family. LaCour Brothers Funeral Home and Burial Society, continuing a tradition of excellence.
Coming up in the news this evening, a second man charged for capital murder remanded to prison after making a first court appearance. The opposition New National Party evaluates the government's first year in office. The family of John T. Robinson is requesting time and space to grieve in privacy. And in sport, Queen's Park Rangers rebound from their heavy defeat with a win over Sunsetters. We'll have details to those and other stories. A look to, of course, at the public forecast information. So right after the break, stay with us.
The first segment of the MTV Evening News comes to your compliments Nexa Credit Union. With you wherever your road leads.
Freedom is driven to pursue that passion that keeps you up at night and makes you smile in your sleep. Freedom is bold to embrace the possibilities that can open up your world and conquer new heights. Freedom is fabulous with bits and pieces that enhance the quality of your life. Freedom is what you do with the flexibility to change path or direction when you need to. Freedom breeds ambition and purpose while having loads of fun along the way. But most of all, freedom is well-deserved for the road traveled and the journey still to come. Unleash your freedom with Nexa Credit Union. Offer ends August 31st, 2023. Call us on 440-1354 or visit our website to pre-apply. Apply now. Freedom awaits.
Good evening, I'm Tony Julian with the details. Law enforcement officers have made a breakthrough in relation to Jonathan Richards of Riverlane Grove, St. John. Daniel George, 21-year-old farmer of Seamoon, St. Andrew, is the second person to be charged and cautioned for the offense of capital murder. The incident was committed on the 21st of March, 2023. But let's get more in this report.
Police arrested another suspect in the execution-style shooting of 27-year-old Jonathan Richards. Richards lost his life in an area known as Gun Battle. 21-year-old Daniel George, a farmer of St. Andrew, was charged with the offense of capital murder, making him the second person to be charged for Richards' death. George was jointly charged with Vincentia National, Elton Andrews, who is currently on remand at Her Majesty's Prison. He was charged with the offense of capital murder in April. The Vincentia National legal representative, criminal attorney Anselm Clouden, says his client was also charged with unlawful entry.
So he would have come in without being processed. Well, you know, our borders are porous. So we need a number of small deployable Coast Guard crafts, not one or two. We need quite a few.
Daniel George will make his second court appearance on 12 July 2023 at Grove Magistrate Court. He is represented by attorney Henry Pariag. MTV News, Donessa Pantru.
A 26-year-old landscaper of Subi St. Andrew appeared at the Grenville Magistrates Court on Tuesday. That was to answer to the charges of possession of a firearm, possession of ammunition, and discharging of a firearm in a public place. The crime was committed on the 26th of June at Crowshoe St. Andrew. Although the prosecution asked for bail to be denied, Alvin Edwards, who is represented by attorney Anselm Clouden, was granted bail in the sum of $50,000 with 2 sureties, and he's to report to the Grenville station 3 times a week. MTV News understands that the firearm used to commit the offences is yet to be recovered by police. Edwards will return to court on the 8th of September this year. In recent times, the hierarchy of the Royal Grenada Police Force have been saying that there's a notable increase in gun-related violence and gun activities in the country.
The question that you ask is how concerned are we? We are very concerned, as so all of the islands in the sub-region should be, because we don't have the kind of, we're not part of a continent, if you understand what I mean. We're an island nation. And so you can come from any angle. Many of the bays and creeks and inlets will let you into Grenada. We do not have eyes and ears throughout the length and breadth of Grenada currently, but I'm going to say this on national television now. We have beefed up our aerial surveillance of the island. We are now getting into drone technology that will give us a 24-hour surveillance. We don't have to bring a drone back in and wait for another drone to go. All the technology that we are developing allows us to have round the clock.
The head of crimes there of the Royal Grenada Police Force, Vanny Coven, in a recent interview with MTV News. And as the police continue with their investigation into the death of John T. Robinson, his family is asking for time and space to grieve in privacy. The family issued a statement on Tuesday expressing their deepest gratitude for the incredible outpouring of support, sympathy and love that they've received during this difficult time. The statement further read, and I quote here, "The overwhelming compassion and kind words shared by all of you have provided us with strength and solace as we navigate the profound loss of our beloved John T." End of quote. The family had further added that they need each other at this time as they honor the memory of their dear John T in the most personal and meaningful way. In other news this evening, the opposition New National Party, NNP, has pulled out its scorecard for the ruling National Democratic Congress as they celebrate their first year in government last week. The party hosted a press conference on Tuesday to address what they claim are critical issues confronting Grenada and its citizens. Dr. Clarice Modeste-Cohen, former tourism minister, highlighted the issue of crime in Grenada. She said the impact of an increase in crime could have an impact on the tourism sector. The Member of Parliament is calling on the Minister of National Security, Deacon Mitchell, to tackle the issue before it spirals out of control.
We're halfway in the year. We're in June. And 6 months into the year, my understanding is that we have recorded more crimes than we had recorded in all of 2022. I am not saying that with pride. I am not saying that with any vindictiveness towards the government in office, but I am saying to the Minister for National Security to wake up and deal with the matter before it gets too far. One of our flagships, one of the things that we were always proud about was the safety and security in Grenada, and that lured tourists. So even tourism that has contributed to the growth of the economic growth of this country, that was seriously conditioned by our national safety that we were proud of. And I have listened to a number of the interviews and the presentations by our present Prime Minister, but I don't know if I missed anything. I have not heard any concern about the level of crime in our country and what the plans are. I heard other plans, but not what the plans are. And I want us to take a back step again to when NNP was in office, and some years ago, we had various gangs and fighting and so on. The crime rate was going up, and NNP jumped into the fray.
Chairman of the opposition New National Party, or NNP, Oliver Joseph, has pointed to a number of areas that they say are in need of attention by the government. As the opposing party evaluated the current administration's first year in office, they say the rising costs of living and health care are some of the areas they believe should be addressed, as we hear in this report.
And everyone in Grenada could attest to that. The rapid rise in the cost of living.
Member of the New National Party, Oliver Joseph, says some of the policy measures announced by the National Democratic Congress within the last year did not help raise the standard of living in the country. Instead of positive results, Joseph says there is a rapid spike in the cost of living, something the government often say is not only unique to Grenada.
And the government came up with a policy to cap freight at 2019 levels for 6 months. There was no immediate benefit to people. We did not see the reduction in prices of basic food items by this policy. So when you examine the policies of the government, it is not one that is meant to lift people out of poverty.
Joseph also touched on the issue of high unemployment.
The government announced there is growth. Yes, there is growth, but what is the purpose of having growth with no jobs? Jobless growth would not help you. You need to reduce the unemployment, to put more money in people's pocket. The more money people have and the most they spend in the economy, the more the government will collect taxes, and then they could use the taxes to do their programs. That is as simple as it is, you know. Reduce the high unemployment in the country so that people will have disposable income to spend.
Meanwhile, according to Dr. Clarice Modeste-Cohen, the government is laid back on its responsibilities to the nation as it relates to health care.
I have spoken for several weeks, several months, about the long list of unavailable medical supplies. And I'm not only talking about medication for pressure and sugar. I'm talking about what they call reagents, materials to test in the laboratory, because sometimes before you can indicate or write a prescription, the doctor has to know what is the situation. Because I was saying we're approaching 1 year in the next day or two, and let us give us something to celebrate. And what NNP would have, one of the things NNP would have celebrated is the flow of much needed medical supplies into our country. You know, the Prime Minister, Dickon Mitchell, Honorable Dickon Mitchell, Prime Minister of Grenada, Carriacou, Petit Martinique, he stood up sometime after, I think there were 1 or 2 speakers between, and he said absolutely nothing. You know, I looked at the arrogance and the uncaring way, because health is so essential, I don't need to go into it. And he said nothing. A few others on the other side, on the government side, stood and they said nothing. And up to now, we have heard nothing more.
The opposition's party's press conference was held as a response to some of the government's achievements and plans during its first year in office. Nikita Houston, MTV News.
Ensuring the financial stability of its members is enhanced by optimizing their experiences. Those were the words expressed by President of the NEXA Board of Directors, Louis Williams, during his remarks at the open session of the 39th Annual General Meeting. Williams, in providing a preview of the credit union's performance, said that they were able to keep key indicators showing positive signs of increase.
Over the past year, your credit union has remained cognizant of the ever-changing needs of you, our members, by listening and responding to your demands and your requests for enhanced and improved services in an ever-increasingly competitive environment. To address this, we are continuously exploring and introducing new technologies, as well as, where feasible, automating the existing processes that we have so that we can enhance efficiency and productivity.
Like any other financial entity, NEXA Credit Union had to endure several challenges. However, according to Williams, they were able to accomplish much during the past year.
Some of these accomplishments include, but not limited to, but include the completion of a comprehensive job evaluation for our staff, significant renovation and remodeling of a new headquarters, introduction of new EMV debit card, commencement of mobile online banking project, among others. Looking forward, brothers and sisters, we look forward into 2023 with cautious optimism. And we say cautious because we are aware that some of the challenges still exists.
Tuesday's session was guided by the theme Building a Future of Financial Stability by optimizing members' experience on their road to success. That's the first segment of the news. We'll be back with more after the break.
The first segment of the MTV Evening News came to you in association with Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
Freedom is driven to pursue that passion that keeps you up at night and makes you smile in your sleep. Freedom is bold to embrace the possibilities that can open up your world and conquer new heights. Freedom is fabulous, with bits and pieces that enhance the quality of your life. Freedom is what you do with the flexibility to change path or direction when you need to. Freedom breeds ambition and purpose while having loads of fun along the way. But most of all, freedom is well deserved for the road traveled and the journey still to come. Unleash your freedom with Nexa Credit Union. Offer ends August 31st, 2023. Call us on 440-1354 or visit our website to pre-apply. Apply now. Freedom awaits.
Big money, money, money. $3,000 every week for 3 months.
What?
Yes, it's the NLA's Crazy Cash Giveaway Promotion. Every week from April 11th to June 30th, 3 lucky Daily Games customers will randomly win $1,000 each week. Imagine winning as much as $36,000 in 12 weeks.
How?
Spend $12 in a single purchase on Daily Cash 4, Daily Pick 3, or Playway. Look for the words Cash Winner on your tickets to collect $1,000. The more you spend $12 on your favorite daily games, the more chances you have to win. Must be 18 or older to participate. All prizes must be collected by July 7th, 2023. Hey, making your dreams come true. Big money, money, money. It's the 4th edition of Hubbard's Live Free for 1 year promotion. Cuatro Punto Cero. It's unbelievably amazing. You can win free fuel, free drinks, cash prizes, free property and vehicular insurance, free cable, TV and internet, free electricity, free coke, free water, free cooking gas, free paint supplies, free passes to Sunshine Promotion events for 2023, free groceries, all for 1 whole year. And every winner receives a lunch package. Be sure to fill out the entry forms and enter it into the marked entry boxes at all Hubbard's departments and at participating outlets. Promotion runs from April 1st to September 30th, 2023. Draws will be held every 2 weeks. Terms and conditions apply.
Important announcement for CIBC First Caribbean customers. Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited invites prospective customers to collect their debit and credit cards, checkbooks, night depository keys and bags, and deposit books at its distribution center located at the GV Steel Conference Room, number 14 Church Street, St. George's. The center will be open from June 19th to July 8th, 2023, operating from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., Mondays to Fridays, and from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturdays. You will be required to present a valid photo ID for collection. To avoid any delay in your service, we encourage you to visit Co-op Bank's distribution center at your earliest convenience between June 19th and July 8th, 2023. We look forward to welcoming you home.
GRENDEC Community Partnership Initiative.
We applied to Grenlec for the construction of a new library at Dover Government School. We've given them a library space that is comfortable, that is homey, that has customized furniture, outfitted for a child who really wants to enjoy reading. I want to thank the Grenada Electricity Services. We could not have done it without you, and we look forward to continued partnership into the future.
Grenlec, energizing our community.
This is the MTV television edition of news. The second segment comes to you in association with the Grenada Cooperative Bank.
Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited has the credit cards to suit your needs. Choose any one of our 3 Visa credit cards, Classic, Infinite, or Signature, and enjoy the affordability, security, and convenience they all offer. Get value for your money with Visa Reward Points. The more you spend, the more points you earn. Co-op Bank is giving you options. You have the choice. We've got the cards. Tailor-made just for you. Visit www.grenadacoopbank.com for more information, or call or visit any one of our retail banking units.
Welcome home.
Welcome back. It was a day of mixed emotions and celebrations as students from the St. John's Anglican School marked their final day of primary school with their graduation ceremony under the theme, "The best way to predict the future is to create it." The MTV News team attended the graduation ceremony, where the students were praised for their hard work and success at the 2023 CPEA. But we have more details in this report.
Despite the many challenges they faced, the students of the St. John's Anglican School were on Tuesday, June 27th, able to celebrate their successes as they graduated from the primary school level to prepare for their secondary school tenure. Applauding the students for their success at the 2023 Caribbean Primary Exit Assessment and highlighting some of the top performers was a principal of the school, Irma Best Menz.
Please allow me to give recognition to these students. DeAndre Drakan, 11th, Jamal Mills, 10th, Leon and Shabby Simon, 8th, Ariel Sylvester, 7th. The following students scored 90% and above. Joshua Dupre, 6th, Emeka Williams and Christopher Richardson, 4th, Delvon Samuel, 3rd, Jake St. Bernard, 2nd, and Angelique Noel, 1st.
She went further to speak about the school's overall performance at CPEA.
52 students sat the CPEA exams, gaining entry into secondary schools. We can continue to boast of their achievements. 20 students obtain an overall average of over 80%. Of these students placed within the first 200 performers. At the national level, our school had the second highest number of students falling within the first 200 positions. This allows these top students to have their first secondary school choice.
The halls of the St. John's Anglican School were filled with proud parents, teachers, and well-wishers, all of whom were excited to see the children take this next step in their lives. Giving thanks to the teachers and all of whom assisted them on this journey was Jake St. Bernard, one of the graduates. Delivering the feature address was Jessica LeBlanc George. Reporting for MTV News, I am Donella Hosten.
Meanwhile, the Happy Hill Secondary School graduation ceremony was also held on Tuesday, but at the Grenada Trade Center. Over 50 young men and women graduated under the theme, "A meaningful chapter ends, a promising future beckons."
The 2022 to 2023 academic year was indeed a productive one. We began the new school year celebrating the gains of our students who sat the CSEC exams in June of 2022. Happy am I to report that the Happy Hill Secondary School was able to attain a passing rate of 73%, with 100% passes in 9 subject areas. Job well done. And we are confident that this year's results will be even better.
Every written masterpiece do not begin and end the same way, but the captivation of its audience is undeniable, remarkable. As a past student of this noble institution who relishes the meaningful years spent there myself and has and is currently reaping successes of the foundation received, I charge you, the graduates of 2023, to be thankful for life, the lessons taught and learned, the battles fought along the way.
And it's easy to give in to your fears. But when you're blinded by your pain.
Today marks the day where we graduate. We have ended one chapter of our lives and are beginning another. Throughout our period at this institution, there have been ups and downs, trials and tribulations. We have struggled, strived, and survived. However, today we stand triumphant. We made it. Today we stand at the gateway of our lives. A meaningful chapter has ended. A promising future beckons.
Education Minister David Andrew continues to reaffirm his stance on education and developing the educational sector through curriculum reform and restructuring. During an interview on the Government Information Service, the minister shared some other updates which have taken place thus far within the educational system, specifically the TVET program.
Quite a bit has already happened by way of curriculum reform and restructuring. And I probably want to start with the national TVET policy and TVET strategy and mapping. TVET, which is technical education and vocational training, persons have always seen those in the past as things you do when you are not academically inclined.
That's right.
And I want to publicly say I don't like that phrasing. And because that person doesn't learn well in a sedentary modality, we have challenge with them and we say they're not academically inclined. But we've launched and approved the TVET policy, which is a policy document that seeks to identify the gaps between the skills and the products of the education system and what the workforce requires.
The minister went on further to speak about the TVET strategy that has been adopted.
We went further to develop a TVET strategy and a TVET mapping that sought to identify the steps in a very sequential manner that were to be followed to see us get there. So it's not going to happen all at once. It focuses a number of years and different things that should happen between 2 years, between 4 years, different phases of implementation. But one of the very early phases was an expansion in the exposure to TVET at the primary school level.
He also spoke about the centers of excellence. That's something that's in the pipeline also.
Inside that strategy are several other things, like making some of the schools sixth form schools. Oh. You wouldn't see that now, but that's in the plan to make some form sixth form. And that will result in decentralizing some of the skills across the country based on some of the strengths that some of the schools show over time. And not only that, these centers, we also identify areas for development of centers of excellence for different skilled areas. We actually have one of those already in Snell Hall for furniture making. Right? And there are a number of other areas earmarked for development of these skill centers, which will be used for students in school as well as persons outside of school, facilitating adult and continuing education as well.
In another development, the fisherfolk of Guav are of course preparing for the 29th, that's Fishermen's Birthday celebrations, under the theme Celebrating Our Tradition and Progress, moving toward Grenada's 50. Let's go Guav. The MTV News team spoke with Janelle John, Secretary of the Guav Improvement Committee, who spoke about some of the activities that they have in store for this year's celebrations.
We had our community sports, and it was held at the Cuthbert Peters Park in Guelph. We had various sporting disciplines. We also had our dinner for our retirees. The activities for the rest of the week, on Wednesday, God's will, we have our traditional mass in June, and that is a street jump up throughout the town of Guelph. On Thursday, our big day, we are going to start off with a church service. It's the Feast of St. Peter, and our church service will be held at the St. Peter's Catholic Church in Guelph.
In addition, this year there will be the staging of a fish exhibition.
Our fish exhibition, it has been missing in action for quite a while. So this year it is back with a bang, and I must say thanks to all the fisher folks, the fishermen in Guelph, who contributed to this fish exhibition. Without your help, it would not have been possible. In the exhibition also, we have included a number of financial institutions, safety, health, and all other stakeholders.
John also said the usual aquatic events will be a part of the excitement.
And we have our aquatic events, sailing, boat racing. We have games like football, volleyball, and so on. During the night, we move into our stage. We have a stage show, local artists from Guelph, and by extension, the other parishes. We have Mushman, Rooney J, Boise, and they are being backed by the Royal Grenada Police Force Band. After our stage show, which ends at 12 p.m., we have our annual Fisherman's Dance at the St. John's Anglican School.
That's the second segment of the news. It came to you in association, remember, with the Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited.
Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited has the credit cards to suit your needs. Choose any one of our 3 Visa credit cards, Classic, Infinite, or Signature, and enjoy the affordability, security, and convenience they all offer. Get value for your money with Visa Reward Points. The more you spend, the more points you earn. Co-op Bank is giving you options. You have the choice. We've got the cards. Tailor-made just for you. Visit www.grenadacoopbank.com for more information, or call or visit any one of our retail banking units.
Welcome home. Make money, money, money.
$3,000 every week for 3 months.
What?
Yes, it's the NLA's Crazy Cash Giveaway Promotion. Every week from April 11th to June 30th, 3 lucky Daily Games customers will randomly win $1,000 each week. Imagine winning as much as $36,000 in 12 weeks.
How?
Spend $12 in a single purchase on Daily Cash 4, Daily Pick 3, or Playway. Look for the words Cash Winner on your tickets to collect $1,000. The more you spend $12 on your favorite daily games, the more chances you have to win. Must be 18 or older to participate. All prizes must be collected by July 7th, 2023. Other terms and conditions apply. See stores for details. NLA, making your dreams come true.
Money, money, money.
At Bailey's Funeral Home, we understand the pain and grief you experience when you suffer the loss of a loved one. For years, we have helped thousands of families get through that difficult time by providing professional funeral services to meet their unique needs. Whether your choice is cremation or burial, call us or come into our new facility on the Carenage and meet with our arrangers in a spacious and comfortable environment. Choose from a wide variety of quality coffins and caskets at prices from as low as $1,900. At Bailey's Funeral Home, we believe that no one should feel overwhelmed or anxious about funeral expenses. So when it's time to plan a funeral, join a burial society, or make pre-arrangements when service and costs matter. Call Bailey's Funeral Home at 440-2558 or visit us at baileysfuneralhome.org. Bailey's Funeral Home, still providing the perfect tribute any family can afford.
Seriously, there's a better way to beat the heat. Get an air condition unit at Quartz, starting at only $1,699. Inverter air condition units from $1,899. Plus, free installation with purchase. Get it today with no cash and pay over time. Protect your purchase with Super Shield extended warranty for up to 4 years. There's a better way to beat the heat. Quartz, bringing value home. Conditions apply.
Scene 2, take 1, and action.
Situationship, no relationship.
I Am Mass. I Am Mass, the movie, Netflix banned. On Saturday, July 8th, the epic movie saga will continue. Dates open 10 p.m., showtime midnight, National Stadium. But it's more mass. I Am Mass 2023, the movie, Netflix banned.
The third segment of MTV News is brought to you in association with Ariza Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future.
Request, repay, repeat with Ariza's FlexiCredit Evergreen Loan Facility. Qualify for a FlexiCredit with limits up to $25,000 or use your home equity to qualify for more. Extra cash at your fingertips whenever you need it, accessed using your debit card and managed using AMI, Ariza's mobile internet experience app. FlexiCredit allows you the flexibility to top up to your approved limit any day, anytime. Already a member? Send us a WhatsApp on 423-4987. New members join today to apply. Request, repay, repeat. Use your FlexiCredit for vacations, shopping, wedding, general expenses, and more. Ariza loan terms and conditions apply. Ariza Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future.
Welcome back, and now is Clifton James with this evening's Regional Roundup.
Good evening with tonight's MTV Regional Roundup. I am Clifton James. Antigua and Barbuda Prime Minister Gaston Brown Tuesday described as inescapable discussions with fellow Caribbean community CARICOM leaders on the future direction of the inter-regional airline LIAT when they meet in Trinidad and Tobago next week. The leaders will be meeting from July the 3rd to the 5th for their annual summit, which coincides with the 50th anniversary of the regional integration grouping. Brown has been amongst those at the forefront seeking to reverse the fortunes of the Antigua-based airline, which entered into administration in July 2020 following increased debt and the impact of the coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic. Its main shareholders are the governments of Antigua and Barbuda, Barbados, Dominica and St. Vincent, and the Grenadines and regional trade unions say they and their members are owed millions of dollars in severance payments and other benefits. It is inescapable. We have to discuss the issue of transportation. I know that many countries within the integration movement see this issue as, I would say, an insular issue. But again, I think LIAT should be respected as a CARICOM institution, that there should be a regional commitment to restoring it in the interest of Caribbean people. Over in Guyana, a gathering of women organised a protest outside the law firm currently representing Minister of Local Government and Regional Development, Nigel Dharamlal. The minister stands accused of raping and sodomising a 16-year-old schoolgirl. The protesting women demanding that the law firm discontinue the representation of Dharamlal, effectively severing their client-lawyer relationship. More in this HCP TV report.
Let Dharamlal go! What about the victim? Let him go, you got to lose him, Nigel! Let
daughters.
A number of women staged a protest in front of Fields, Hughes and Stobie, the law firm representing Minister of Local Government and Regional Development, Nigel Darmlal, who's accused of raping and sodomizing a 16-year-old schoolgirl. The women are calling on attorney-at-law Nigel Hughes, a partner at the law firm, to drop Darmlal as a client. However, Hughes, in response, noted that the firm has a history of representing everyone, including the Lusignan massacre accused.
The system has to work. I appreciate what you're saying here, but the system can't be affected by whether or not Nigel Hughes defends somebody or whether somebody else defends them. I would urge that what we need here is that we have to make sure, first of all, you protect the person who's made the allegations, the victim. She needs to be protected. We need to make sure that there's a full investigation. So whatever the outcome of the deliberations by the DPP are the charges, that everybody is happy with them.
The Ghana Police Force has completed its investigation into the rape allegations leveled against the minister, and Director of Public Prosecutions, Shalimar Alihak, Senior Counsel, is expected to provide her legal opinion on the matter.
We are out here as women and as mothers, and we are appealing to you. You have your form. Please tell your partners. We shall say let Darmlal go. We don't want you to be in this matter. We just asking. And if we got it right here, because you represent all we. Use all we got as a liar. Use we people's liar.
A food security and livelihood survey has found that 3.7 million people, or 52% of the population of the English-speaking Caribbean, remain without proper food security. The 2023 Caribbean Food Security and Livelihood Survey, conducted by the World Food Programme WFP and the Caribbean Community CARICOM, noted that this is a 10% decrease when compared to an August 2022 survey. It also underscored that there are growing financial hardships and challenges due to the rising cost of living in the aftermath of the pandemic. In addition, 98% of respondents from the English-speaking Caribbean reported high food prices in the 3 months before the survey, the highest level reported since the first survey in 2020. In a region that is highly vulnerable to climate shocks, the current survey found that 42% of households were affected by climate-related hazards in the 12 months before the survey, and that these events continue to have a significant impact on climate-sensitive livelihood activities such as in agriculture and fisheries. And that was your look around the region. I am Clifton James.
This is the MTV Evening News. We'll be back with you after the break.
The third segment of MTV News was brought to you in association with Arise Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future.
Request, repay, repeat with Arisa's FlexiCredit Evergreen Loan Facility. Qualify for a FlexiCredit with limits up to $25,000 or use your home equity to qualify for more. Extra cash at your fingertips whenever you need it, accessed using your debit card and managed using AMI, Arisa's mobile internet experience app. FlexiCredit allows you the flexibility to top up to your approved limit any day, anytime. Already a member? Send us a WhatsApp on 423-4987. New members join today to apply. Request, repay, repeat. Use your FlexiCredit for vacations, shopping, wedding, general expenses, and more. Arisa loan terms and conditions apply. Arisa Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future.
You're watching the MTV Evening News Tuesday. Sporting highlights are next.
Make money, money, money.
$3,000 every week for 3 months.
What?
best. Yes, it's the NLA's Crazy Cash Giveaway Promotion. Every week from April 11th to June 30th, 3 lucky Daily Games customers will randomly win $1,000 each week. Imagine winning as much as $36,000 in 12 weeks. How? Spend $12 in a single purchase on Daily Cash 4, Daily Pick 3, or Playway. Look for the words Cash Winner on your tickets to collect $1,000. The more you spend $12 on your favorite daily games, the more chances you have to win. Must be 18 or older to participate. All prizes must be collected by July 7th, 2023. Other terms and conditions apply. See stores for details. NLA, making your dreams come true.
Money, money, money.
In our part of the world, we need to be prepared for natural disasters like storms and hurricanes, even outside of the season. I'm sure you'll agree that keeping our loved ones, homes, and businesses safe is important. So, I came up with a few quick tips to help you stay safe. Familiarize yourself with your electrical panel, as it may be necessary to switch off the power during a storm or flood. Make sure you install a transfer or isolation switch to prevent your generator feeding electricity to Grenlec's line. If trees are too close to power lines, call Grenlec at 237 for advice. By following these easy steps, you will be well on your way to being hurricane ready. Don't be caught off guard by natural disasters. Prepare now. For more information, visit grenlec.com.
What does it take to be an amazing woman? Lots of me time. Amazing women are classy, fancy, and a little sassy. It's the drink for me. Cheers! Sometimes you've got to show them who's boss. Alpha male? Nah, alpha females are more amazing. Cheers to securing the bag. We make time for ourselves, for work, friends, and we certainly make time for passion. We're simply amazing. Amazing cream liqueur for the amazing woman in you.
It's the 4th edition of Hubbard's Live Free for 1 year promotion. Cuatro Punto Cero. It's unbelievably amazing. You can win free fuel, free drinks, cash prizes, free property and vehicular insurance, free cable, TV and internet, free electricity, free coke, free water, free cooking gas, free paint supplies, free passes to Sunshine Promotion events for 2023, free groceries, all for 1 whole year. And every winner receives a lunch package. Be sure to fill out the entry forms and enter it into the marked entry boxes at all Hubbard's departments and at participating outlets. Promotion runs from April 1st to September 30th, 2023. Draws will be held every 2 weeks. Terms and conditions apply.
Scene 2, take 1, and action.
Situationship, no relationship.
I Am Mass. I Am Mass, the movie. Netflix banned. On Saturday, July 8th, the epic movie saga will continue. Dates open 10 p.m. Showtime midnight. National Stadium. But it's more mass. I Am Mass 2023, the movie. Netflix banned.
Eagle Super Strikers and SAFL have recorded their first draw of the season. That highlight and more coming up in our sporting segment.
The MTV Evening Sports is brought to you in association with Courts, bringing value home.
Refer a friend and get $50 cash back for you and $50 cash back for your friend on loans of $3,000 and over at Quartz Ready Cash. Plus, you get flexible payment terms, hassle-free service, and fast approval. All you need is your ID, proof of address, payslip, job letter, and 2 references. Apply now. Visit shopquartz.com. The more friends you refer, the more cash back. What are you waiting for? Make every moment count with a loan from Quartz Ready Cash. We are ready when you are. Conditions apply.
A special evening to you sporting fans, and now is Donella Hostin with this evening's sporting highlights.
Good evening, sporting fans. Queen's Park Rangers rebounded from their heavy defeat with a win over Sunsetters, and Captain Benjamin Etienne says it's going to be a victory from this point for his team.
At the starting of the game, we didn't start off that confident, but I had a long talk with them in the middle of the game, and we decided to change our mindset and mentality, and we went out and fight, and we come victorious today. Well, last game wasn't great. We lost very badly, but the mood coming into training was we decided to work hard. We're going to work hard. We're going to keep fighting. There was ups and downs in training and debates, but we actually decided and come up with a plan for us to come out this game and come out victorious. So we don't let the last game we played affect us from coming out and win this one. We're looking forward to every game. As I told my boys, the plan is to lose 1 game for the season, and we already lost it last week, and we're not going to be losing more without a fight. So only victory from here on out we're hoping for it.
While captain of the Sunsetters, Erickson Crosby, is seeing positive vibes from his team as they keep up with the experienced teams.
Today we play a little much better than last week game. Although we need to do some more physical play, because I could see my guys and them are lapsing in the pressing, because that's what we're trying to play. We're trying to play a kind of pressing game to win the ball high up in the field so that we could attack them in their final third one time. But I see some positive in the game. We're trying to kind of think up with them other teams, although there's a lot of them players first time in the Premier League. So they just breaking out in the Premier League. They've seen how the Premier League is. We know the Premier League is a tough league. And all I say is it's a good experience for them, and they just have to come out and play hard, do the physical, and the work is easy. Once we move in the
Eagle Super Strikers and SAFL recorded their first draw of the season after facing each other for the first time in competition. They both have 13 points after 5 matches, while the Eagles Super Strikers still in the top spot via goal difference. Queen's Park Rangers and Honved also won convincingly against their opponents. In League B, the score lines were very close, with wins for the RGPF, St. Forces and Hard Rock. West Indies women's captain Hayley Matthews starred with a century and a 3-wicket haul to lead the West Indies to a 58-run win over Ireland in the first ODI at the Darren Sammy Cricket Stadium in St. Lucia on Monday. The hosts first posted a respectable 297 for 6 from their 50 overs, their second highest total ever after winning the toss. Matthews was the star of the show, scoring a 106-ball 109, her 4th ODI 100 and first since March 2022. She hit 10 fours and 2 sixes. Former skipper Stephanie Taylor made her 39th 50 in ODIs, 55 off 69 balls in support, while Chanel Henry, coming off an injury, hit 7 fours on her way to a maiden 50 in ODIs, 53 off 37 balls. Leg spinner Cara Murray took 3 for 60 off her 10 overs. Ireland, despite a crafty 83 from opener Gabby Lewis and 40 from skipper Laura Delaney, fell 58 runs short of their target, eventually finishing 239 for 9 from their 50 overs. So disgusted was Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley by the dismissal display of the West Indies cricket team that he took to social media and held nothing back. He wrote, and I quote, "Today I saw the worst cricket match ever played by a West Indies team. This amateurish, demoralizing embarrassment has to stop. Playing for West Indies requires a desire to fight, to believe, to win. To saunter through to defeat is unacceptable. Playing for West Indies must be a treasured privilege available only to the best that is prepared to show character in defense of our legacy and our pride. Those to whom these truths mean nothing must be allowed out in West Indies colors. End of quote. Rowley was referring to the game between the West Indies and the Netherlands on Monday. Teja Nidamanuru defied Nicholas Pooran's 100 with a scintillating one of his own, while man of the match Logan van Beek produced a fearless all-round effort as the Netherlands stunned West Indies in a dramatic super over to leave the Caribbean side's World Cup hopes hanging by a string. And that's it for this evening's sports. I am Donella Hostin.
Thank you, Donella, for the latest sporting highlights there. And viewers, when we return, we'll have the public forecast information for you and then a recap of the main stories.
The MTV Evening Sports was brought to you in association with Quartz, bringing value home.
MTV Weather Report comes to you in association with Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
We all care for our community. We are strong. Together, we are Grenada.
Good Tuesday evening, viewers, and once again with the nighttime weather forecast, I'm meteorologist Wayne Williams. Showers and more showers throughout the Eastern Caribbean today as that tropical wave moved through our area and into the Eastern Caribbean Sea. We did see a break in the cloudiness and the showers, a bit of sunshine into the afternoon, but the showers returned in full force after that brief sunny episode. We do have, that first wave is going to move up into the Caribbean Sea. We do have a second wave approaching the island, still about mid-Atlantic, some cloudiness associated with it, but we're looking to see if any convection would develop. Slight haze along the two waves. We are seeing a little bit of it right now, but with the showers and the cloudiness, it's not very visible. Significant cloudiness still around with that wave as it passes. Lots of areas of thunder showers, so we could experience a few more of those tonight as the wave continues to move along. We would be seeing some improvement maybe by the latter part of Wednesday into Thursday, but still there is a high probability of showers in those times. The forecast for Tuesday night is for occasional showers, some maybe heavy and accompanied by thunder. Winds would be coming in from the southeast between 5 and 10 miles per hour. Minimum temperature around 24 still. There's a 90% chance of the rain. The moon, it rose early on at 1:13 in the afternoon. It's going to set at 1:18 tomorrow morning. Showers again on Wednesday. Scattered showers. Easterly winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. Seas moderate to slightly choppy with 4 to 6 foot waves. Sunrise at 5:45, sunset 6:35. A wee bit of sunshine again. We'll see the temperature rise to 30 and feel like 30. Port of Spain and Bridgetown still are in for showers, especially in Port of Spain. Variable cloudy conditions in Kingston. Lots of sunshine in Miami. Thunderstorms continue in New York. Lots of clouds in London. Back here at home, the probability of showers for the remainder of the week is very high, well, about 60 to 70%. Scattered showers can be expected on Thursday, easing a bit on Friday and Saturday, but by Sunday, most likely into Sunday afternoon, we could see some heavier showers developing. We're going to keep our eyes on that to see how that plays out. Monday could also bring some showers with partly cloudy, quite a bit more sunshine from Tuesday into Wednesday. That is it for me for Tuesday night, folks. Have yourself a great night. Join me again on Wednesday.
MTV Weather Report was brought to you in association with Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
And now to end the news, a recap of the headlines. A second man has been charged for capital murder and remanded to prison after making his first court appearance. The opposition New National Party has evaluated the government's first year in office. The family of John T. Robinson is requesting time and space to grieve in privacy. And in sport, Queen's Park Rangers have rebounded from their heavy defeat with a win over Sunsetters. We've had details to those and other stories, a look to at the public forecast information. And so now on behalf of the news and production departments, I'm Tony Julian. We all thank you for viewing and wish you a good night.
At Bailey's Funeral Home, we understand the pain and grief you experience when you suffer the loss of a loved one. For years, we have helped thousands of families get through that difficult time by providing professional funeral services to meet their unique needs. Whether your choice is cremation or burial, call us or come into our new facility on the Carenage and meet with our arrangers in a spacious and comfortable environment. Choose from a wide variety of quality coffins and caskets at prices from as low as $1,900. At Bailey's Funeral Home, we believe that no one should feel overwhelmed or anxious about funeral expenses. So when it's time to plan a funeral, join a burial society, or make pre-arrangements when service and costs matter, call Bailey's Funeral Home at 440-2558 or visit us at baileysfuneralhome.org. Bailey's Funeral Home, still providing the perfect tribute any family can afford.
Fitzroy Calivan John, also known as Let It Go, of the United Kingdom and Trinidad, who resided at Munro Street, Victoria, St. Mark, passed away on Thursday, June 8, 2023, at the age of 79. Left to mourn are his wife Carol Darbo John, stepdaughters Janelle and Crystal, stepson Jonelle, grandchild Kyrie, other relatives and friends including Judith, Mantis, Cherry Ann, Fiuella, Marilyn, Anthea, Anne-Marie, Gracelle, Neil, Jacqueline, and neighbors and friends in the United Kingdom, Trinidad, and Victoria and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Fitzroy Calivan John, also known as Let It Go, of the United Kingdom and Trinidad, who resided at Munro Street, Victoria, St. Mark, will take place on Wednesday, 28th June at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the St. Mark RC Church, Victoria, and interment will be at the Coast Guard Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Joseph Michael Belgrave of Tempe St. George passed away on Saturday, 27th May 2023, at the age of 87. He was the father of Ernesta Belgrave Charles in the USA and Donald Belgrave in Grenada, brother of Jerome, Theophilus and Ermine Sargent, Cecilia Aline, Elizabeth Peters, Bernadette Noel, Gordon Thomas in the USA, Godwin Thomas in Trinidad, Wainwright Belgrave and Joycelyn Belgrave Tamar in the U.S. Virgin Islands, and Charles George in Grenada, grandfather of Anthony and Jeremiah Charles in the USA, uncle of many including Frederica Cummings, Lisa Francis, Keisha Johnson, Christopher, Sheldon and Blondell George, Carla George Pivot, Krista George Smart, Jamie, Alistair, Adrian and Andre Gittins, Devon Lacrette, Ricky and Diane Bailey. Brother-in-law of Yvonne Thomas, Cecilia Denise George, Gastel Foster, Glenda Belgrave, Jennifer Thomas, Cheryl Belgrave, and Tanya Brown. Many other close friends, including Big Boy Bullin, Leonard Thomas, Swindler Jones, Eunice Tamer, and many others too numerous to mention. The memorial service for the late Joseph Michael Belgrave of Tempe St. George will take place on Wednesday, 28th June at 1 p.m. Service will be held at the Garden of Remembrance Funeral Chapel, Cemetery Hill, St. George's. Arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Clarenton Peter McIntyre, also known as Wallace of Byland St. Andrew, who resided in Trinidad, passed away on Saturday, 10th June 2023 at the age of 80. Left to mourn are his wife Lorna McIntyre, 5 children including Don, Devon, Kashina and Nikki McIntyre, sisters Margaret Foray and Athelia McSween, brothers Julian and Ralph Jolo McSween, nieces and nephews including Doreen Mason in Trinidad, Wesley McIntyre in Canada, Aidan Hannibal, Sharon Stanislaus, Karima and Elvis McIntyre, all in Grenada. Many grandnieces and nephews, including Junior and Shamika McIntyre, and many others too numerous to mention. Other relatives and friends, including the Foray, Humphrey and Antoine families of Birchgrove, the McIntyre family of Bylands, Margaret de Bellet and family of Telescope, and close friends Clement and B. Roy Bridgman, Crossley Roberts and Terence Jones, and friends and neighbors of Birchgrove, Bylands and surrounding areas, and in Trinidad. The funeral service and interment of the late Clarenton Peter McIntyre, also known as Wallace, of Byland St. Andrew, who resided in Trinidad, will take place on Wednesday, 28th June, in Trinidad. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Claudia Selma Roberts, also known as Teacher Claudia and Claudie, of Paraclete St. Andrew, who resided at Wells Road, Grenville St. Andrew, a former teacher at the Paraclete Government School, passed away on Tuesday, 6th June 2023, at the age of 58. She was the wife of Gaston Roberts, mother of Elon, Alyssa, Eldon, Michaela, and Eliza Roberts, grandmother of Zariah Gibbs, Kaylee, Davon, Daquan, Kalia, Kyra, Umaya, Omar, and Hazley, sister of Erlin Wells in Trinidad and Naylan John, mother-in-law of Kalita Roberts and Nikisha Charles, daughter-in-law of Catherine Augustine in Trinidad, sister-in-law of Edwin and Velta Mahorn, Eon and Diana Batiste, Alnick and Dominic Roberts, all in the USA, Stanley Roberts and Joseph Wells in Trinidad, Raymond, Janice and Marinus Roberts, and Lashley John, aunt of Leland John in Serbia, London Wells in Trinidad, and Jace John, niece of Claudette Taylor in Canada, Yvonne Agard, Irika and Levi John, cousin of many including Nordia Antoine, Fabian and Damian Bartholomew, Susanna Taylor Grenade in the USA, Luann Maguire, Lorna Regis and Alan Agard, caregiver Melissa Fraser. Many other relatives and friends including Eudora Charles, Phyllis Alexander, Merlin Braffett, Asha Lessie, Lympha Lewis, the Ramdeen and Panchu families, the pastor and members of the Mirabeau Pentecostal Church, the principal, staff and students of the Paraclete Government School, the president and members of the Grenada Union of Teachers, the Honorable David Andrew and staff at the Ministry of Education, and many other family and friends. The funeral of the late Claudia Selma Roberts, also known as Teacher Claudia and Claudie, of Paraclete St. Andrew, who resided at Wells Road, Grenville St. Andrew, will take place on Wednesday, 28th June at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Mirabeau Pentecostal Church, and entombment will be at the Grand Bras Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Kim McSween, also known as Kim Cooper, of Grandons, who resided at New Hampshire St. George, passed away on Monday, 29th May 2023, at the age of 49. She was the mother of Terry Cooper, Shawntae McSween, Dwayne Williams Jr., and Sriraj McSween, adopted mother of Malian Leslie, Shaquila Duncan, Trina Celestine, and Giovanna Antwine, grandmother of Daviel, David Jr., Adira, Adrian, Tristan, and Ishmael. Stepdaughter of Gloria Toussaint in the USA. Sister of many, including Charles Toussaint in the USA, Edwin Cooper, also known as Ello, Christopher Joseph, Crispin Augustine in Canada, Sean Best, Nigel Cooper, Damien in the USA, Cathian Cooper Jacob, Christine Felix, and Daniela McSween. Adopted sister of John McGilvery. Sister-in-law of Marcia Toussaint, Erin Jacob, Merrill Lohar, Lynn Cato, Joseph, Avril Best, and Lennox Felix. Mother-in-law of Siobhan Jack, close friend of Sylvan McIntyre. Many aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, cousins, other relatives and close friends including the McSween, Cooper, Charles, Superville and Stevenson families, Diane Mark and family, Lennox John, the 1990 graduating class of the Grenada Boys Secondary School, the management and staff of Spice Island Beach Resort, the pastor and members of the Church of God Worldwide Mission, Nigel Lacroix and family, Elon Robinson and family, and friends and neighbors of Grand Anse, New Hampshire and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Kim McSween, also known as Kim Cooper, of Grand Anse, who resided at New Hampshire St. George, will take place on Thursday, 29th June at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Gateway Assembly Point Celine St. George, and interment will be at the Grand Anse Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Irene Anastasia St. Hilaire, also known as Mother, of Dudmar St. David, a well-known market vendor, passed away on Friday, 26th May 2023, at the age of 95. She was the mother of Mary St. Hilaire, Jennifer Mitchell, Cynthia Marichaux Phillip, Douglas St. Hilaire, Dominic Mitchell, and Keisha St. Hilaire Licorice, grandmother of John Greenwich, Ernesto, Orlando, Leanna and Aquino Romaine, Shondell and Alicia Mitchell, Donnelly Albert, Rochelle Franklin, Wendy Ann Greenwich, Kira and Kira Jaggernaut, and Marissa Sleeman, great-grandmother of many including Naisha St. Hilaire, Kizzy, Akim and Sasha Greenwich, Amaya Jaggernaut, Reginald Aidan Ferguson, Delon Mitchell, and Neon Licorice, great-great-grandmother of many, mother-in-law of Hugh Romaine, Ian Phillip, and Nigel Licorice, sister-in-law of Rosa Mitchell, aunt of many in the USA and Grenada including Alan, Ricky, Calvin, Velda, Jenilyn, Joan, Hermelin, and Joseph Mitchell. Many other close relatives and friends including Reno Mitchell, Legas, Louis Victor and family, the Honoré, Let, Mitchell, Hazard and Francis families, the St. Hilaire family of Carriacou and Crowshoe, and friends and neighbors of Dudmar and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Irene Anastasia St. Hilaire, also known as Mother, of Dudmar St. David, will take place on Thursday, 29th June at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Vincent's Pentecostal Church, and interment will be at the Windsor Forest Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Paul Elrene Phillip, also known as Pablo, Bunnyleg and Bug, of Glebe Street Satires, who resided at La Fortune St. Patrick, marine biologist and environmental consultant for climate change, and past teacher of McDonald's College, the Grenada Boys Secondary School, and the St. Rose Modern Secondary School. Passed away on Tuesday, June 6, 2023, at the age of 68. He is survived by his partner, Rosa Evis Alexander. He was the father of Marcel in the USA, Andy, Shay, Devon, also known as Blacks, Kellon, Michelle, Nasha, Nadja, Delon, Ashney, Ashel, Shondi, Elrene, Joshua, Rachel, Donna, and Debbie. Brother of Rosemary Patterson in the UK, Hazelan, Hector, Glitter and Pauline in Grenada, Joyce, Winston, Joycelyn and Gloria in the USA, Raymond, Grace, and Jacqueline in Trinidad. Grandfather of Shay Jr., Omaya, Tamaya, Azariah, Carlos, Sydney, Namali, Naisha, Octavia, Ravon, Adiah, Wadden, O'Brien, Kalia, Kasaya, Annabella, and Andy Jr. Uncle of many including Kelly, Daryl, Stefana, Jamelia, Melissa, Tonya, Bushies, Richard and Kirk. Brother-in-law of many including Rose, Walter, Bernadette, Teresa, Geneva and Theodore, Antonia and Yolanda Alexander. Many other relatives and friends including Mr. Linford and Mrs. Jeanette, Miss Deborah, Mr. Brown and family, the MacDonald family of Hermitage, Andre, Span, Kenny, Jonelle, Toby, Mr. Joseph, Sonia, Anne-Marie, Dolliver and Elima, the Courtney family of Paraclete, the GEF Small Grant, past and current co-workers of Fisheries, the Environment, Spectro and Small Grant, and friends and neighbours of Sataz, La Fortune and surrounding areas. The funeral service for the late Paul Elreen Phillip, also known as Pablo, Bunnyleg and Bug, of Glebe Street, Sataz, who resided at La Fortune St. Patrick, will take place on Thursday, 29th June at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the St. Patrick RC Church, Sataz, and interment will be at the Morley Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home.
When a loved one passes on, we all need the comfort, support, and guidance of a trusted friend. You can rely on Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. We provide a personalized professional service that exceeds all expectations. Our dedicated staff responds to your every need with the greatest detail, ensuring affordability with a variety of options. Our upgraded state-of-the-art facilities, spacious air-conditioned chapel with live internet streaming, a modern, environmentally safe crematorium, the only of its kind on island, private viewing spaces, large on-site repast center, a modern transportation fleet. Join our burial society today and make personalized arrangements for that final moment. As you prepare to enter your loved one into eternal rest, visit or call Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home and select a package that brings added comfort to the entire family. Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home and Burial Society, continuing a tradition of excellence.
Moses Gary James of Chantilly St. Andrew, who resided at Duquesne St. Mark, passed away on Tuesday, May 30th, 2023, at the age of 90. He was the father of Marvelyn Fletcher, father-in-law of Davis Fletcher, grandfather of Marissa, Max Vaughn, and Maxine, great-grandfather of Micaiah and Malik, uncle of 6 including Brenda and Azra in Canada, and Grace and Anita in Trinidad. Many cousins, other relatives and close friends including Oris, Shanika, Larisha, Steve, Shawnee, Marilyn, Hanif, Paula and Joshua, Kester, Carol, Willard, Tina, Manu, Umari Forrester, the Diali, Slinger, Downs and Williams families of Paraclete, the Gurry and James families of Cloget, the pastor and members of the Duquesne Bible Holiness Church, and friends and neighbors of Duquesne, Birch Grove, Cloget and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Moses Gary James of Chantilly St. Andrew, who resided at Duquesne St. Mark, will take place on Friday, June 30th at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the New Testament Church of God, Birch Grove St. Andrew, according to Bible holiness rites, and interment will be at the St. Rose Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Joseph Williams, also known as Joe and Hamilton, of Caliste, who resided at Lansopine St. George and in the United Kingdom, passed away on Monday, 12th June 2023, at the age of 84, left to mourn his wife Sybil Williams, children Ian, Anne, Ivan and Gemma, nephews Ian Bernard, Diane and Colin, sister-in-law Clara Simmons, son-in-law Byron Campbell, grandchildren Cameron, Reese, Haley, Hatui, Fannin and Aaron. Other relatives and family including Keisha and family, Monica Mark and family, Norma McQuilkin of Caliste, Geraldine Lane, Leslie and Brenda Scott, Clovis and Martina Dubiset in the UK, Anne and Michael Entwine of Woodlands, Samuel Mapson, Lyra Fortune and Tracy, Teresa Stevenson and family, Lyris Buckmeyer, Dr. Spencer, Dr. Martin, Dr. Carrie Kennedy in the UK, Deborah St. Bernard, Renato James, Mark Roberts, Oral Murrell, Rundle Pear, Alsted Cardew, Ramon Rambine, Daniel Caliste, Sheena Williams, Cameron Penny, and Junior Pancho. The funeral of the late Joseph Williams, also known as Joe and Hamilton, of Caliste, who resided at Lonsapine St. George and in the United Kingdom, will take place on Monday, July 3rd at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Blessed Sacrament Church according to Anglican rites, and interment will be at the Grand Anse Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Vernice Marichaud, also known as Sister of Vendome St. George, passed away on Thursday, 15th June 2023, at the age of 85. She was the mother of Hermie and Johnny in Grenada and Irva in the USA, adopted mother of Everton in Trinidad, grandmother of Houston, Ciron, Richie, Talia, Shondell, Troy, Tracy, Giovanna, Cathian, and Jediah, great-grandmother of Anaya, Therese, Dory, and Jediah, sister of Brenda and Mikey in Grenada, Leroy in Trinidad, and Zephyrin in the USA, mother-in-law of Cephas, Alan, Joanna, and Margaret, sister-in-law of Jeremiah, many nieces and nephews including Rhea, Risha, Hazel-Ann, Kareen Dale, Joey, Nadine, Kurt, Wendell, Gary, and Randy. Other relatives and close friends including Zai, Philo, LaShawn, Gladys, Rita, Sister Mary, Lynette and family, Narissa and family, Raphael and the Andrews family of Mount Parnassus, the Batiste family of Boca, Willis and in Trinidad, Janice and the Francis family, Doreen and family, Joan and family, Dada and family, the Andrews family of Willis and in Trinidad, members of the Vendome Pentecostal Church, and neighbors and friends of Vendome and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Vernice Marichaud, also known as Sister of Vendome St. George, will take place on Monday, July 3rd at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Beaulieu New Testament Church of God, and interment will be at the Vendome Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Catherine Campbell, also known as Catherine Drayton of River Road, who resided at Spring St. George, passed away on Monday, 26th June 2023, at the age of 84. The funeral arrangements for the late Catherine Campbell, also known as Catherine Drayton of River Road, who resided at Spring St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Rickelson Toussaint, also known as Rick Boy and Baby Boy, of River Sally St. Patrick, passed away on Tuesday, June 20th, 2023, at the age of 20. The funeral arrangements for the late Rickelson Toussaint, also known as Rick Boy and Baby Boy, of River Sally St. Patrick, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Bernard Buckmeyer, also known as Strongman, of Pedmotor St. David, who resided at Montjaloux St. George, passed away on Friday, 23rd June 2023, at the age of 67. The funeral arrangements for the late Bernard Buckmeyer, also known as Strongman, of Pedmotor St. David, who resided at Montjaloux St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Catherine Lucille Frederick of Bellevue St. David, who resided in Canada, passed away on Saturday, 17th June 2023, at the age of 83. The funeral arrangements for the late Catherine Lucille Frederick of Bellevue St. David, who resided in Canada, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Pearl Agnes Bernard, née Fletcher, also known as Mother, of Munro Street, Victoria St. Mark, who resided at Snell Hall and Lower Morley St. Patrick and in Ontario, Canada, passed away on Tuesday, June 13th, 2023, at the age of 100. The funeral arrangements for the late Pearl Agnes Bernard, née Fletcher, also known as Mother, of Munro Street, Victoria St. Mark, who resided at Snell Hall and Lower Morley St. Patrick and in Ontario, Canada, will be given any subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Emile Paul Jules of Carriacou, who resided at Mount Craven St. Patrick, passed away on Monday 19th June 2023 at the age of 69. The funeral arrangements for the late Emile Paul Jules of Carriacou, who resided at Mount Craven St. Patrick, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. WRC Leslie and Jacinta Braveboy of Lauriston, Carriacou, passed away on Wednesday 21st June 2023 at the age of 53. The funeral arrangements for the late WRC Leslie and Jacinta Braveboy of Lauriston, Carriacou will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Carol Norma John of Lower Capital Birchgrove St. Andrew passed away on Sunday 18th June 2023 at the age of 43. The funeral arrangements for the late Carol Norma John of Lower Capital Birchgrove St. Andrew will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Joy Veronica Ned of Grosse Pointe St. Mark passed away on Friday 16th June 2023 at the age of 70. The funeral arrangements for the late Joy Veronica Ned of Grosse Pointe St. Mark will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Peter Densley Martin, also known as Parley, of Chantimel, who resided at Plains St. Patrick, died on Monday 12th June 2023 at the age of 80. The funeral arrangements for the late Peter Densley Martin, also known as Parley, of Chantimel, who resided at Plains St. Patrick, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Monica Bernadette Samuel Alexis, also known as Monix's, Monix or Young Girl, of La Femme, who resided at Wester Hall St. David and in Trinidad, passed away on Friday 16th June 2023 at the age of 81. The funeral arrangements for the late Monica Bernadette Samuel Alexis, also known as Monix's, Monix or Young Girl, of La Femme, who resided at Wester Hall St. David and in Trinidad, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Garvin Sean McGilvery of Beausejour St. George died on Wednesday, June 14th, 2023, at the age of 39. The funeral arrangements for the late Garvin Sean McGilvery of Beausejour St. George will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Aaron John, also known as AJ, Aquila, and Baker, of Mondelez St. George, died on Sunday 11th June 2023 at the age of 73. The funeral arrangements for the late Aaron John, also known as AJ, Aquila, and Baker, of Mondelez St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Hubert Ewart Braffett, also known as Bert, Campaign, and Braff, of Monjaloo, who resided at Woburn St. George, passed away on Tuesday 13th June 2023 at the age of 73. The funeral arrangements for the late Hubert Ewart Braffett, also known as Bert, Campaign, and Braff, of Monjaloo, who resided at Woburn St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Joseph Hagley, also known as Bonnie, of Bellevue St. David, who resided in the USA, passed away on Thursday 15th June 2023 at the age of 62. The funeral arrangements for the late Joseph Hagley, also known as Bonnie, of Bellevue St. David, who resided in the USA, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Gertrude Thompson, also known as Alona George of Chantymel St. Patrick, who resided at Fontenoy St. George, passed away on Tuesday, 13th June 2023, at the age of 75. The funeral arrangements for the late Gertrude Thompson, also known as Alona George of Chantymel St. Patrick, who resided at Fontenoy St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Joseph Lewis, also known as Choiceman, of Florida St. John, who resided at Coast Guard St. Mark, passed away on Saturday, 10th June 2023, at the age of 83. The funeral arrangements for the late Joseph Lewis, also known as Choiceman, of Florida St. John, who resided at Coast Guard St. Mark, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Nicola Carrot George of Rosehill St. Patrick passed away on Thursday, 8th June 2023, at the age of 39. The funeral arrangements for the late Nicola Carrot George of Rosehill St. Patrick will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Catty St. John Worm of Grand Aunt St. George, who resided in New York, USA, passed away on Thursday, 17th February 2022 in New York, at the age of 50. A funeral service was held on Saturday, 26th February 2022 in Brooklyn, New York. The funeral arrangements for the service to be held in Grenada will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Augustus David King, also known as Zab, Beggs, and Augustus, of Bylands, who resided at Subi St. Andrew, passed away on Saturday, 3rd June 2023, at the age of 70. The funeral arrangements for the late Augustus David King, also known as Zab, Beggs, and Augustus, of Bylands, who resided at Subi St. Andrew, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Monica Mary Williams of Tempe St. George, an employee of Nawassa, passed away on Saturday, May 30th, 2023 in Trinidad, at the age of 54. The funeral arrangements for the late Monica Mary Williams of Tempe St. George will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Imelda Lena Batiste, also known as Mama, of Chantymel St. Patrick, who resided in London, England, died on Monday, May 1st, 2023 in London, at the age of 67. The funeral arrangements for the late Imelda Lena Batiste, also known as Mama, of Chantymel St. Patrick, who resided in London, England, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Pastor Dr. Adrian Leroy Marast, also known as Bill, of Hope City St. Andrew, passed away on Friday, May 5th, 2023, at the age of 75. The funeral arrangements for the late Pastor Dr. Adrian Leroy Marast, also known as Bill, of Hope City St. Andrew, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home.
The management and staff of MTV extend deepest condolences to those of you whose loved ones have passed on.